Howdy everybody, ArgonMatrix here, welcoming you to episode 37 of Bloodborne. We're back here in Yahar'gul, in front of this open courtyard that is overseen by the monumental Blood Moon. That thing is enormous, look at that, it's crazy. I have gone back to Hunter's Dream and used my echoes, as you can see. I only got one level out of it. I also bought the Blade of Mercy here for 40,000, which is was Eileen's weapon. It's this sort of swift little short sword type thing. You can transform it into two of them. It's pretty powerful, actually. Got some pretty fancy moves with it, too. I've used it in the past on a previous run. Not going to worry about it today. I'm going to switch this back to Ludwig's Blade, I guess. I also upgraded my Hunter's Axe to +9, and I upgraded Evelyn to +8. And I sort of finagled around with the blood gems in them as well to create the best bang for my buck right now, without using cursed blood gems or anything. So that's that. Anything else worth saying, or should we just get this party started? Let's see what we got up here. Welcome the One Reborn, aka the King of Body Horror. My god, this thing is so fucking nasty. Okay. Like, nasty to look at, he's nasty to fight against. What you gotta do here, first things first, we need to go way to the back here, far away from the One Reborn, and head up these stairs. This will make your life so much easier. In keeping with the theme of Yahar'gul up to this point, we need to dispatch of these bell-ringing women, because they will not only power up the One Reborn, they'll also fire projectiles down at you, like flaming projectiles. So that's the last thing you need when you're fighting this thing. I don't even know what to call it. I believe what the One Reborn actually is. Don't quote me on this, because I'm not fully up to snuff on my Bloodborne lore. But what he actually is the sort of final product of the Mensis School's attempts to call upon or recreate one of the great ones, one of the more or less deities of this world. As Master Willem once said, we need more eyes, and that thing has a lot of eyes. You can see no matter where you are, effectively. There's 6 bell-ringing women here, not too hard to dispatch of, but if you don't know about the staircases at the end of the battle arena here, it can make for a very nasty fight, for sure. Now, that being said, the fact that those bell-ringing women are down now does not make this an exceptionally easy fight. I wouldn't say this is one of the harder boss fights, but if you get too greedy with it, it can very quickly spiral out of control. Just kind of like that. Exactly. He's really just dropping gore on my head. That's not very nice, my friend. It's not something a great one would do now, is it? I mean, maybe it is. Depends who you ask, I suppose. Yeah, you have to be careful here, especially when this starts happening. Yeah, this weird, like, vomit attack. Once that happens, you gotta get off the floor. You gotta get in those little side areas where you're protected. That's the thing about the One Reborn, actually, is that he's not that tough of a boss. He's pretty easy to get in there and sort of wail on, but he has a lot of HP, and all of his attacks are actually pretty powerful. They'll pack a wall up for sure, so Be careful. Also, what I would recommend, you can see I'm at the Hargul Unseen Village lantern here as opposed to the Chapel lantern. And that's just because we opened up this shortcut over here via the elevator, so it makes for a bit of a quicker boss run than it does from the Chapel. The Chapel boss run is not that much slower, especially if you've gotten rid of the hunters. But really all you have to fight on the way to this, or on the way through this path to the boss, is a couple like weird dudes like this, some dogs, and you're pretty much there at that point. You have to wait for the elevator, but there are worse penalties to pay. Alright, I'm back at the arena here. We can see him dancing around on the inside, just waiting for me. I've got my bolt paper all primed and ready to go on my quick bar here, because I believe the one Reborn is actually weak to bolt damage. Don't quote me on that again. Don't quote me on anything I say in these videos, man. I don't know shit about this game. Where's the entrance to the staircase? Oh god. Gotta get in there before he wails into me, because I think if he hits me in the back, then it could be a nasty time. Sure. I mean, that's also pretty nasty if he just hits me from the railing like that. So the thing about him, though, is that from up here, he can't do that much to you. He can still, like, spit fucking blood and guts and acid at you or whatever he does. That bell ring woman's still alive, isn't she? That could be a problem. Well, once I go down back into the arena to fight him, then it shouldn't be that much of a worry, because I can dispatch of her. Or maybe she died from the fall, I don't know. Wasn't paying attention to my blood echo count, which would have probably told me. Another nice thing about this is that these bell ring women each give about 1,000, I mean realistically 900 echoes per pop. So, yeah, that didn't kill her. So the more times you have to fight this, the more echoes you will accumulate. Not that I want to fight this too many times here. That's a small benefit for the negatives here. So deal with her. I'm going to go ahead and try and hide in the shadows here. This kind of reminds me of that one fight in Shadow of the Colossus a little bit. You know, where there's the one Colossus where it's like there's all the sort of Colosseum walling on the sides, and then you have to sort of dodge him in between. If anyone played Shadow of the Colossus, I'm sure they know which one I'm talking about, but I can't. I haven't played the game in long enough to really know. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use that, and then hopefully get in here and lay into this guy something fierce. My god. We're doing. He's just sitting there and taking it. I guess the bolt damage really does help to incapacitate him somewhat. I didn't think it was quite that intense though. You can do like these transformed attack as well. Like okay, watch out for that. Oh god. This is bad. Alright, get in here. Hopefully he's not able to hit me in here, but alright, we have a clear path to victory, though. If we can just avoid some of his nonsense like that and not get trapped in as many corners, we should have a pretty easy time with him. I'm actually a little embarrassed that it's taken even more than, like, 2 times here. Just because he's not that tough of a boss, but c'est la vie. Okay, I'm back now. I've spared you the trouble of watching me deal with the blood-wringing women. Now we just got the one Reborn to deal with, and hopefully it proves to not be too much of a hassle here. If I just need to. Oh shit! Gotta get out. This swamping attack is really nasty. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. Okay, the swamp water's gone, but we saw how much that did in an earlier fight, and that's not something I'm really wanting to deal with. I'm pretty happy with how this is going, though. I mean, really, maybe the tactic here is to honestly just stay in the entire time, even when he does hit you, just to get that rally potential, because he seems to be fairly well stunned by this nonsense. So unless... I was literally just about to say, unless he has an attack that he's going to one-shot me with, then I should be fine here. Oh god, what happened there? I don't know where the camera went, I didn't want to see that. Alright, I'm going to cut in here about halfway through the fight. I'm sort of deeply embroiled in all this nonsense. Yeah, Yeah, I normally like to talk about what the... Oh god, watch out. When you hear that tone, that like rising crescendo tone, that's when you know he's about to do his big fuck-off attack that killed me in one hit last time. So watch out for that. Definitely. Otherwise, you can kind of just wail into him here. I should maybe get some more bolt paper on, just for good measure, but I don't think I'm going to need it for the rest of the fight here. As long as you sort of keep your distance, eye him. Definitely don't lock onto him, because that can screw you up more than it'll help you, probably. Alright, and that's actually it for him. I was prepared to talk a little more about the strategies there, because normally I like to talk about the strategies and what to watch for and stuff. We got 3 yellow backbones out of that, which is a chalice ingredient. Really, there's not much I can say about the one Reborn, though. You saw most of his attacks. He's got some projectile stuff. He's got some melee stuff. He's sort of a one-trick pony, which makes him a bit of an easier fight than we might be accustomed to. Still, gave us a bit of a run for our money there. And obviously, bolt paper really does help out if you can get your hands on it, which you should be able to by this point in the game. So that's that lantern. Let's, I really should use that to head back to Hunter's Dream, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Well, no, let's pop ahead here because I actually know what's coming up, so we should be fine. We head in here, and this is actually a bit of an ominous sort of location. We got all these dudes, presumably members of the Mensis School, who have congregated here. If we approach the one sitting front and center, inspect mummy. We are actually put back in the lecture building, back in this same area. It is actually the same area, it's just a different spot in that area. We're on the 2nd floor of the lecture building now, the spot that links the main world and the Nightmare Frontier. So yeah, here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and use this lantern before I explore this area anymore. Head back to Hunter's Dream and spend these echoes because I do not want to lose like 100,000 echoes to some random idiot in the lecture building, so let's go ahead and get that off my back. Alright, we're back here in the lecture building, the 2nd floor. I spent all my echoes. I plowed it mostly into, actually entirely into vitality so we could get more health, because that is kind of where we were struggling for a lot of the past couple videos, honestly. It's a bit of a maybe noob stat to invest in, but I don't know, HP is never a bad thing to have, I would say. At any rate, I also swapped out some of my runes, so my Quicksilver Bolt max is back down to 20, because I figured I don't... Oh god. I'm actually about to be eaten alive by a human marshmallow now. I guess this is my destiny. I figured I didn't need 24 max when I have the Odin Writhe rune that restores them on visceral attacks, because that really helps me maintain Quicksilver Bolts anyway. I never usually go below 20 anymore. So that should be fine. And then I swapped it out for the Communion, no, not the Communion, the Clockwise Metamorphosis rune, which boosts our max HP by 10%, so hopefully that'll be enough to feel a little bit safer exploring the upcoming areas, because we've got some tough shit coming up. Not that we haven't had tough shit in the past few videos here, obviously. But still. I did check as well, by the way, at the Insight shop in Hunter's Dream, and I believe after beating the one Reborn, it unlocks the ability to buy Bloodstone Chunks for 20 insight, because I don't believe that was available to me before, and now it is, so have that if you will. If you have enough insight to spend on Bloodstone Chunks, by all means. Main way to get insight is by farming Chalice dungeons, so keep that in mind. He's gonna go Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards on me right there. Is that what that guy's name is? Mr. Stretch Armstrong Reed Richards? Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. Well, that says something, I guess. Don't know who left that. I guess someone from the School of Mensis. That is where this lecture building, or what this lecture building, I guess, indicates to us, is that this is the School of Mensis, and these are all their notes sort of left behind. What is the School of Mensis? I still like the highest echelon of the choir, I think. What's the choir? Well, that's where you got me. No, I know most of the lore of Bloodborne, but it would take a little while to expand upon it. A gentleman by the name of Vati Vidya on YouTube actually has a very good video called Bloodborne Story Explained, so if you're interested in the lore, by all means check that out. I might make a video after the series is all said and done with, sort of explaining my interpretation of it anyway. But for now, I digress. We'll just keep on exploring here. Ultimately, where we want to go is obviously through this lovely door here into the smoking section. But let's explore while the time is ripe here. Got a lot of stuff hiding around. 3/3 chords. That's a bit of a hint at something. So you may remember that we actually have, deep within our inventory here somewhere, we have 1/3 of an umbilical cord. We only have one of them though, so perhaps if we get 3 we can make some magic happen, but who knows where the other 2 even are. Hello, gentlemen. This guy's actually pretty decent for farming upgrade materials if you can consistently kill him. He's a little bit of a nasty opponent sometimes. But he does pretty frequently drop twin bloodstone shards, I believe. And he rarely drops bloodstone chunks as well, so he's pretty nice for this point in the game if you're needing to get more upgrade materials for your weapons and don't have the insight to just buy them from the shop. There you go, twin bloodstone shards. Pretty solid. Go ahead and keep exploring a little bit here. There's that door over there that I want to check out, but first let's see what remains on the balcony up here. These guys are a little tough to stagger. They have more stamina or more poise or whatever. I'm speaking in Dark Souls terms, I know, but they're more robust than you might think. They don't have that much HP though, so it's not too bad. You gotta fight 2 of them at once though. Better watch out. Oh god, he's throwing beer at me or something. What is that? He has got like a watering can, or is it just a vase or a Bunsen burner vial? I don't know. I don't know jack about chemistry, dude. That's not entirely true, actually. Did very well in chemistry in high school, but this Mensis shit, all these eyes in jars, that's beyond me, dude. It is well beyond me. We're about to complete our little circuit here. I forget what's actually at the end of this little circuit, what you get for sort of exploring the whole area of the upper, or the second floor of the building. You get a chest, interestingly enough. Got a communion rune. Is that the strongest communion rune that we've gotten so far? No, it's actually only second strongest. We already have one that's +3 vials that we got from somewhere, so there you go. I mean, you can equip multiple of them and get your blood vial maximum up to, like, what would that be? That'd be like 26, I think? So if you're really hankering for those blood vials, if you find yourself using a lot of them, by all means. There's one last little area to check down here, down this ladder. Head back down to the first floor, into a room that we could not previously access, actually. And in here we'll find, this lovely gentleman.
Oh, this cannot be. You cannot be. No, you didn't. Lord Amygdala?
Believe it. It's real.
How did this come to pass? Now, wait just a moment. Do you think ill of me? Me?
Yeah, I mean, this is, for those not in the know, this is the guy who tricked us in the Nightmare Frontier and shoved us off a cliff. So, yeah, I think ill of you.
Pains me to hear it. You've made yourself a misreckoning.
Oh, have I?
I shared with you a thing most secret. Now, you're witness to a miracle, and all the stronger for it. It's plain as a pikestaff. Now, say in my heart, you were as a lamb to my God. Well, you weren't to know, and it wasn't for you to know. All's well that ends well, I say.
These guys, he's saying a lot, but he's not saying much, if you know what I mean. Talking a lot without saying much. What else you got for me before I just destroy you?
Such details are trifling. We're fast friends by now.
Oh, for sure.
Let this express what words cannot.
That's a pretty good rune, actually.
Oh, doubt me not, sweet compeer. What is friendship but a chance encounter?
I'm going to open this door, just for completion's sake.
Well met. My apologies, but I feel a profound thought occurring on the good grace of a certain god and the way he meted out his love.
You know, I think I've had just about enough of this guy. I mean, all our other friends are already dead, so what's one more?
That was uncharitably done. That was uncharitably done, dear friend.
I feel no sympathy for you, my dear friend. Great One's wisdom. You don't have to do that, but it feels good, you know, to get a little bit of comeuppance on that guy. On most normal playthroughs, I will just leave him alive. There's no reason to kill him, there's no reason not to kill him. Just to do what your heart tells you. And in that moment, I felt a little bit bitter. Just gotta admit, just had to air out my grievances a little bit here, I suppose. There's still more of these guys hanging around. I mean, there are more of them, but I don't think there's anything else worth finding here in the lecture building, so I think we'll probably call it there and leave it as a cliffhanger. Oh, wait. Quicksilver bullets, hell yeah. Leave it as a bit of a cliffhanger as to what lies on the other side of this door. I mean, on the first floor, it was the Nightmare Frontier. What will it be here? Find out next time on Bloodborne. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. This is ArgonMatrix signing out. Thank you and good night.